Welcome to Race 4 of the NASCAR AI Series, where we take you to Road America. We're gonna see a couple cars qualify here today. A couple things. First off, a few people, because of the failure of the series, some cars are on spot zone, like the number 9 of Chase Elliott, Napa pulls out. I think one more was Joey Logano. Pennzoil just didn't want to make the race, and then the 38 of David Reagan. They're all sponsorless here today. The second change I've implemented to the series is that the races will be subtracted from 45 minutes to 30 minutes. So yeah. We're still keeping the single file restart rule, but unlike Lime Rock, we're actually gonna keep it green here today. Doesn't matter how many cars rack out. So these guys are all doing their warm-up laps and all. We're just going to focus on crashes here in qualifying because we know that a couple drivers will go off track. This is a pretty long racetrack. This is the longest racetrack we have in our schedule. This track is 4.048 miles in length. So it'll be so this is probably going to be the toughest track of the season. I mean, Lime Rock was pretty tough because a lot of drivers kept crashing. But I believe that due to the length of this track and the limited time, I think drivers will be more aggressive. Which means, yep, a lot of off tracks. Only 2 laps here for qualifying here today because of the length of the track. And that's probably going to go for all of the series. Our next race is going to, our final road course race, which is our next race, is going to be at Okayama. That should be exciting. Drivers get to travel to another country. And yeah. So the focus has been mostly on Chris Buescher as he goes a little bit off track there. I just want to see who's going to complete the lap first. Oh, Ty Dillon goes way off course. You're going to see a lot of that today. And I think, yeah, Austin Dillon is the first car out here. Actually, it was the last car. And that's going to be Joey Gase. Corey LaJoie goes off track there. Ooh, Hamlin with lots of damage. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happened to him. This is his second qualifying mishap. And as drivers complete their first lap, like Eric Almirola, we'll see who gets that fast lap. Ryan Newman on pole so far. He suffered a pretty devastating injury, but he's up here with a 2.065 as Almirola gets barely off track. Almirola gets 5th so far. Again, these drivers have another lap, and their tires are probably going to be warmer. But we're going to see what happened to Denny Hamlin, because he has a lot of damage. Ooh, right here. Ooh, looks like nothing yet. He's moving his wheel a lot, and he overshoots that corner and hits his left side pretty hard. Pretty unfortunate for the Joe Gibbs Racing driver. Going under this Johnsonville banner. seeing if anyone else had a pretty bad lap too. Nope, our last guy is still Joey Gase. As far as goes off a bit. I think Hamlin just went off again. So Hamlin's... Yeah, he did. That definitely... Yeah, he's probably gonna start dead last. Let's check on our provisional poster, Ryan Newman. Will he better this lap? Will he be better this lap? It's gonna be 2.08. That's actually pretty slow, but he still keeps the pole for now. Wow, 2.08. That's 1.5 seconds worse. And I don't think we saw any position changes at all. All these guys had 207s, 208s.
Alright, there's the checkered flag.
And with that, our driver lineup has been set.
One to go, next time by. Line up on the right side. Pit road is closed.
I would love to drive in one of these someday, honestly. As everyone gets gooded up, we will see. We will see who thrives here at Road America. As the Porsche pace car rolls out, Newman is going to be your pole sitter, followed by Jimmy Johnson. Austin Dillon and Paul Menard making a surprise appearance. Then we have Almirola and Byron row 3, McDowell and Blaney row 4, Larson and Truex row 5. Then Kurt Busch and DiBenedetto will be row 6. Alex Bowman in a surprise of Papyrus rounds out here row 7. Kurt Busch and Joey Logano, unsponsored for this week, in row 8. And the rest of the starting lineup will be down here. Rakoslavsky and Kevin Harvick qualifying mid-pack actually really surprised me, so does Kyle Busch. But anything goes here. Our line lock winner, Ross Chastain, is all the way back here in 35th. Like, I don't know if he's going to survive here today, and I don't know how this race is going to go. But what I do know is that we will probably see a lot of cars wrecking in the first lap. I predict maybe 5 cars will finish. Maybe. We saw a lot more qualifying. We saw a lot more practice crashes than we did in the other tracks. My driver to watch here is Kevin Harvick. I mean, this guy has got talent in road courses. Another guy to watch here is Ryan Newman. Well, Ryan Newman had the fastest practice lap and fastest qualifying lap. In fact, only... Oh yeah, 12 cars reached under the 207 barrier. Will anyone else reach under the 207 barrier today? That's going to be a big storyline. I think this is honestly anyone's shot at winning because of how these road course races have been. And these cautions will take like 12 minutes. So I don't think I'm gonna throw one today. One thing I would give props to Road America is that they have actually really nice camera angles, unlike lots of other road courses. I was thinking that people might go off the track during the pace laps, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Oh boy, I'm scared, aren't you? And we come off the final corner and the pace car will come in. Ryan Newman and Jimmy Johnson are going to lead us to green.
Green, green, green.
Look at how wide they spread out between the rows. No wrecks on the front stretch, but we will see lots of off tracks in turn 1 maybe. Jimmy Johnson's going to take the lead. To almost go off track. They'll go 3 wide into turn 2, Manoy gets shoved. And Austin Dillon is the one going off track this time. Matt DiBenedetto crashes into the wall at full speed. But we're still racing here. Pretty shockingly. As there seems to be a huge separation in between like 15th and 16th. Jimmy Johnson will still hold on to that lead. As there is just a gaggle of cars for 6th, barely outside the top 5. Johnson, the top three all go off track there, but they keep it alive. Oh, Palmenoy goes off track from 3rd. He saves it, keeps his positioning. Oh, and Newman, the 2nd place guy, and Palmenoy all go off track. As we see more crashing in the background. Kyle Larson, one of the guys going off track here. One of the mistakes that the AI do is that they overshoot these corners. Like Johnson almost did. Newman's done it several times today. And pretty much the entire top 5 went off track to the sand area. Still lots of drivers remaining after 1 lap. Oh no! Austin Dillon hits the wall! But Jimmy Johnson is gonna lead lap 1. There was a lot of calamity. Oh, and Ryan Newman goes off course. There are a lot of places where these AI drivers go off course, but they're easily savable areas. And Jimmy Johnson already with a 1.7 second gap, but 25 people seem to be left in the race though. So there must have been lots of wrecking in the back while it was a relatively cleanish race up front. Hemrick will be 26th. In pit road. We saw Kyle Larson wrecking earlier. He's on pit road. Drove himself there. Hamlin with damage. Busher, Reagan. But overall, oh! As McDowell spins out. He's one guy that's really good at road courses. Oh! No! Jimmy Johnson has crashed out of the win. As Ron Truex Jr. plows into him. Jimmy Johnson stopped on track. Will he tow it in time before someone hits him? Lots of cars hit the outside wall, trying to avoid the first car. And LaJoy hits him. Literally nobody else was running that line. Lots of drivers go to the grass to avoid Jimmy. That is unfortunate. Duke was on his last season. Let's see, I think Justin Haley collided with, oh yeah, 32 was trying to park it and Haley had nowhere to go. Crash. Hit the tire wall pretty hard. Let's, go to his, cockpit cam. Yeah, hit it pretty hard. Ryan Blaney, one of the few survivors out here. He is currently in 5th. 4th is Kurt Busch. And we see Chase Elliott go back out on track. Lots of cars. But your top 3 are on the line. Ryan Newman, Promenade, and William Byron. This has actually been a relatively clean race compared to the other road course races we've had. I'm pretty happy. Ooh, Promenade goes to the grass a little, almost spins out, but saves it. The top 3 are like piggies in a blanket. They're all nose to tail. And heck, there's even as a lap car behind them wrecks. I think that is Chase Elliott, one of the unsponsored cars. He had a rough start out here today, but yeah, Napa dropped the sponsor, and he's actually done pretty poorly. Speaking of unsponsored cars, I think the other 2 are out of it. Joey Logano is on pit road, and David Reagan is actually in the top 10, doing pretty well for himself. And 3 cars went down to 2. Paul Menard is not with this pack anymore. It looks like he saved the car from getting damaged, but let's see what happened here. Was the contact? Nope. He went off track and slid. Ooh, saved his car from getting damaged too. That was really impressive. He's still in 3rd. So what this track has taught is that if you barely go off track and skid your car, as long as you save it, you're not really going to lose that many positions. That's how big this track is. William Byron is getting close to Ryan Newman. Let's go on board with him. Oh! Nice save by Newman. And that is what William Byron has to see on his front of him. And oh no. I thought I saw Promenade. I didn't see Promenade there, but as expected, many cars are on pit road. You see Ryan Blaney there. He just came out. He is 1 lap down in 10th, behind the leaders. Currently hunting them down. Let's see Ryan Newman save up there. That was pretty amazing. Spear is on board. Yep, and that's all it took. He's burning his tires by jerking his wheel, but as long as he keeps it straight, then that's good for him. Again, this race is about survival. You gotta do whatever you can with the car. Looks like Blaney has pitted, but he's taken new tires, which means that he's gonna be a lot faster than Byron, who goes off track, hits the wall. And now the 2-car pack for the lead has gone down to 1, as Byron's gonna have to pit for damage. Or he could stay out, but knowing these AI, they're gonna pit. Especially with damage like that. We've seen Ryan Blaney go off track maybe 3 or 4 times this lap already. This is a true test of an AI skill. As Newman's gonna go for another lap, Byron's gonna pit in. The leader's last lap was a 209.8. So these tires shred significantly because these guys was qualifying at a 206.5. Newman was at least. And after 5 laps, he's already down 3 seconds. We're gonna run down your order here. So Ryan Newman is your leader. Blaney is a lap down in 13th. And Joey Gaze, you saw, just came out of pit road. He's going to be in 13th. Promenade has been running up there, had a small mistake, and look at that, he's in 2nd. Cliff Bush has been running quietly in 3rd all day. I wonder where he started, because it wasn't, he started in 11th. Pretty good. Daniel Suarez is 23rd. I thought he was slowing down, but that's just the line he takes. I believe 23rd is 3 laps down? 2 laps. So he just got put 3 laps down. Cody Ware is in 4th because Byron pit. And Ware started in 33rd. So to survive from back of the pack with the good cars, with the Rick Ware cars, pretty amazing. iRacing, I changed the camera view. iRacing is in 6th after starting 23rd. He's running the 08 this year. I mean this race. I think it was to honor his friend or something, but I don't know. But he switched from the 340 to the 08, and Suarez is by the tire barrier. Oh wait. So yeah, John Smith. Larson, who you saw went to pit road back in 14th a lap down. He's the 2nd car a lap down. David Reagan moves up from 10th to 7th. And Chris Buescher is in 8th. You always see these two run really well here. Stenhouse Jr. is going to be, I believe, at 9th. And Clint Boyer is stopped with Martin Truex Jr., who doesn't park it. Jimmy Johnson almost gets collected. And Truex is going to keep going. Oh, he is holding up Ty Dillon. But something happened between the 19 and the 14. Truex with really bad damage. They must have collided. So Truex, who already has a tiny bit of damage, was running in 8th, actually. Goes off track, hits the wall, tries to save the car, and parks it. And Boyer trying the same thing, but just could not avoid him. He did the same mistake Truex did. And Truex does such a good job of getting out of the racing line right before others get there. That was a close call with Jimmy, but He's heading into pit road now. That front bumper is gone. And I believe only 8 cars are now in the lead lap because Byron is not at pit road anymore. Byron only had minimal damage, and these cars do not have a faster pair. So it's pretty amazing that Byron's back on his wheels. You see Hammock up there in 16th. Only 10 cars in the lead lap. Which means the leader must be behind, no, Eric Jones isn't the leader. As we see Matt Tiff come out of pit road. Newman is gonna remain in the lead. To 210.562, he just started his 8th lap and we're halfway through the race. Paul Menard running quietly in 2nd. He's 6.6 seconds behind. And Kurt Busch is about 10 seconds behind. I want to see the battle between John Smith and David Reagan and Chris Buescher because they're all right there. Just crossed the start finish line, 35 seconds behind. Side by side into turn 1. iRacing gives it up. David Reagan will remain in his position as iRacing goes off track, holding up Chris Buescher. And Chris Buescher's gonna go to the Overton side! Almost makes contact but doesn't. As David Reagan, unsponsored David Reagan, is gonna pull away from these two. Chris Buescher, I bet, is not gonna be happy with iRacing. Ryan Blaney actually almost goes off track there. We're back in last. There's still like 5 people. I mean, there's people 5 laps down from 31st to 40th. So these are pairs. Don't take a long time. And Newman spins, but saves it. That is, Newman's done a lot of amazing saves here today. Ooh, Newman gets off track! And Newman's gonna pit! No! I don't know if that's a fuel stop or anything, but Newman just gave up the lead. No! I think that's a required fuel stop because Menard's in too. So is Kurt Busch. I think the leaders are pitting for fuel. Wow, I had no idea their tanks were this empty. But David Reagan has pulled away so much from the others. And he's gonna stay out. The only lead lap car to stay out thus far. So do these two. Will Larson get ahead of them? I mean, not Larson. Will Ryan Newman jump ahead of them? The answer is no! And David Reagan is gonna be your race leader. You see Ross Chastain, your last race winner, down in 36th. He's had to do a lot of repairs. But yeah, a very interesting fuel strategy as Reagan just took the lead. Battle for second going on between iRacing and Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher moves to his inside. They almost make contact. Buescher gives up the position again. It's very clear that Buescher's faster, especially, well, not based on qualifying time, but Ryan Newman is catching up to them both. And not far behind, Paul Menard has gained a lot of time on Ryan Newman. So this is going to be real interesting. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., one of those other cars that stayed out, landed Castle in 25th, and Kurt Busch behind him. So within maybe a 20-second radius, we have maybe 6 or 7 cars battling. As Newman is all over the back bumper of Chris Buescher now. To his inside, Buescher gives up the spot. Almost goes off track. Newman with that Acorn sponsorship. Will iRacing come in? Yes, he will. As Reagan ahead of him does stay out. So a lot of pit strategy happening here. Is it better to pit earlier? Is it better to pit later? David Reagan probably stayed out another lap just to lead it. As there he is, Kyle Busch right in front of him. We're on lap 10 and 20 minutes in, but we will see how from the 30... No, Cody Ware's leading. We forgot about him. Cody Ware, your race leader. Wow. I swear, if he doesn't have to pit, and that would be amazing. But we will see how your race leader Cody Ware avoided lap 1 calamities. Oh. There was a pretty big stoppage there with Keselowski. That's a couple cars ahead of him. Knows he still has time. Quick shift from 3rd to 4th. Gets past Ross Chastain on that turn. Maybe shoves him off track, I don't know. Has the safety car a little there. But as you can tell, he's faster than many of the people ahead of him. Castle goes off track, hits the wall. As you see, another car stopped. A couple more hit the wall. Ty Dillon. And he goes by Kyle Busch, really good at road courses. I'm sure he's won a Road America race somewhere. Hemrick really slow. They almost make contact. That makes him go off track. Saves it. That was Cody Ware's lap 1. Although he didn't gain the most positions, he did keep it safe out on the track. And currently, he's still leading by 9 seconds over David Reagan, which implies that they haven't even picked yet. Ross Chastain on his 5th lap. Kyle Busch a little bit damaged, you saw. So the last 4 cars are Bowman, Haley, Harvick, and Boyer. Stewart Cars Racing not having a good day. And ooh, this is getting exciting. If the 51 has to pit, and the 38, because they haven't picked yet, as you see Ross Chastain going in, this, between Ryan Newman and Paul Menard, is going to be for the win. They closed the gap, actually, to 8.8 seconds. And Newman goes to the inside on turn 1, but cannot make the pass as Reagan has to run on the outside. Which makes Paul Menard try to go for it. Are they gonna clear each other out? They're side by side through the end of the corner, and Menard is gonna clear Newman for third. It would be pretty amazing if Cody Ware wins. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, because nobody would expect that. I guess it was the leader's strategy. If they don't have to pit, it was the leader. I bet Ryan Newman and Paul Menard pitted because their lap times were so much worse than the start. So they could get a quick outlap as Reagan goes a little bit off track there. It's good to see many cars running, still remaining. I thought this race was going to be a total disaster, like Lime Rock was, but this has actually been pretty entertaining to watch. As Menard is going to go to the inside of Reagan, but can't make the move. Menard loses the momentum. Menard tries again on his outside. Side by side entering the corner, they make contact! And Ryan Newman is right behind them again. David Reagan and Paul Menard make contact with each other. Will they have to go to pit road? And none of them make the hard right turn. Ooh, Menard's getting desperate here. He knows that to catch the 51 and Cody Ware, he has to beat out David Reagan. And he thinks he has the car to do it, but Austin Dillon pulls out ahead. And Menard almost makes contact with Ryan Newman. There were multiple cases last week of cars coming out of pit road affecting the leaders in turn 1. Which is the eventual reason why Ross Chastain won the last race. He was running a lap down in 4th. Menard trying to do everything he can. Because with these new tires, they're probably 3 seconds faster. And Menard will clear him. And Newman does too. And now Newman's gonna go side by side with Menard. Lets him by. So let me just get this straight. David Reagan has held them up for a 2-minute 13-second lap. He hasn't picked yet, but these guys also ran a 2:13 because David Reagan was holding them up. Now for some of the and then there's Cody Ware. And Austin Dillon is wrecked out. Right back onto the track. Menard has to slow down. Newman goes by. Oh no, there's a huge pileup, but Stenhouse gets involved. I think they're all going to have to park it. That is a total disaster. That is a total disaster for Paul Menard. He was the best car from the guys. And now it's up to Ryan Newman to catch up to Cody Ware. And I believe he could do it. Cody Ware has never pitted in this race. And we're going to approach 2 laps to go. You see Ryan Newman, that spec right there. Cody Ware just ran a 2-minute 14-second time. while a partially held up Newman ran a 2:13. The gap is 7 seconds, but can Ryan Newman with fresher tires make up that deficit? The clock has shown 28 minutes and 52 seconds, which means the 30-minute mark is going to be shown, which means that I believe this is 2 laps to go, if not the last lap. Kyle Busch trying to move around Cody Ware. Cody Ware, the only thing he's got to do now is survive. He's already gone all the way up here just by surviving. Went from 20th to 1st. Cody Ware has Kyle Busch on his inside. They will not make contact. And that, it's just unfortunate that Austin Dillon had to wreck there and park it. Because that just ruined a lot of people's races. Like, maybe 5 people inside the top 6. I mean, sorry. 5 people inside the top 8 were involved in that. And we all know that Cody Ware is holding up Kyle Busch, who actually got loose there. Cody Ware had a really good corner. You're actually catching up to Ross Chastain. You see Ryan Newman at the end of your screen. He's doing the best he can. You might see him here. Yep, you do. Ryan Newman's catching and catching fast as Kyle Busch is going to slide into the tires. Ooh, tried to keep up with the leader, but just could not. Anyways, it's going to be the last lap here as Cody Ware will lead it, followed closely by Ryan Newman. Ooh, the gap to Newman is... Newman just ran a 2:11. If he wasn't held up, I believe he would have the win. But it's all going to come down to what Cody Ware does. And they're saying the race is over. What? So I think Cody Ware just won this race. Congratulations to Cody Ware. Wow. What an amazing run. And then Ryan Newman is going to be in 2nd. And I believe Kurt Busch, who's on pit road. No, John Smith overtook him. John Smith, the iRacing car, overtakes Kurt Busch for 3rd on the final lap. Kurt Busch now on pit road. Then it's William Byron, who we saw had to pit. I believe we'll get in 5th. Chris Buescher, who you saw was involved in that recent track, decided to keep going. And good for him. He almost gets a top 5 out of it. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. also involved in that wreck. Heads into pit road. I don't know if... But yeah, Paul Menard. You gotta feel for him, man. He would have had 2nd in the bag. But Ryan Newman set him up as a pick. And he's gonna finish back in 9th. I mean, maybe they did have one more lap. No, they're going into pit road. But good run for Cody Ware. He executed the strategy perfectly. And was able to win that race. What a win for Rick Ware Racing. What a statement win. I believe their Le Mans, their endurance team is actually doing really successful. So, Rick Ware just translated that into his real life racing. So yeah, it looks like actually Byron finishes 4th and Joey Gase, starting from near dead last, will finish in 5th. Gets his first top 5. Paul Menard Had to do some fixing, but got P6 anyways. Kurt Busch P7, Chris Buescher P8, Stenhouse P9. Then all of these lap down cars from 10th to 15th. Larson, Reagan, Blaney, Jones, Kligerman. Jones, again. Jimmy Johnson, who was leading the early stages of this race, unfortunately finishes 3 laps down, but he's still doing well in standings. Ty Dillon, Matt Tiff do finish 4 laps down. We haven't talked about either of them all day, but we have seen them both go on off course. Landon Castle, you saw hit the tire barrier on lap 1, grinds out to a 19th. All the way down to Ross Chastain, who worked his way up to 25th, good for him. Kyle Busch, Daniel Hemrick, 6 laps down. Bubba Wallace, 7. Bowman, McDowell, and LaJoy 8 laps down. De Benedetto, who you saw hit that wall hard on lap 1 or 2, unfortunately finishes 32nd. Chase Elliott 33rd, Suarez 34th. Clint Boyer 35th. Haley, Logano, Dillon, Keselowski, and Harvick all round out your field. And man, I just gotta say, Stuart Haas has not had a good race. 40th, 35th, 34th, and 20th. Ouch. Only one driver barely inside the top 20. Well, that was actually an entertaining race in my opinion. But we will see you next race at Okayama. This is Kohankinator signing out.